What is going on, gang? This is your boy Marcus Washington. You're on the mark. We talk everything Falcons football, and this is one of the worst losses we've had in a while. Um, I ain't gonna spend a lot of time on this. I swear I'm not. Every loss is on Raheem Morris until this guy sits his ass down. This is what happens when the buddy system goes wrong. Um, you had a chance to put a stranglehold on the division with these two games, and now you didn't put Tampa Bay back in it. New Orleans has found newfound confidence, and you're on a two game losing streak. It is clear this is the wrong fucking scheme. I don't really like to say things that might denigrate somebody. But I have to believe Jimmy Lake is not that intelligent. People keep saying it's the players. Ask the Saints this. The Saints got the same exact defense out there. They're on a two-game winning streak. It's the same defense that the Saints have out there, bro. They didn't add any pieces. Matter of fact, they traded a goddamn piece. But you know who they got rid of? The guy that was calling the defensive plays. This is a defensive coordinator issue, and Zach Robinson has been exposed. Now we kind of have to backtrack and look at some of these moves that Raheem Morris made. Both of these guys are first-time coordinators, and you put them on the team that's built to win now. So, like I said 2 months ago, we have to endure their growing pains. It's not fair to the fans. But Raheem Morris wanted his buddies, and he gave his buddies a shot. My thing is, how long are you going to continue to give your buddy a shot on defense? He's been pure ass. He's been pure ass. Bo Nix looked like Joe Montana out there. Bo Nix, get this, fam. Get a motherfucker that cannot throw. Bo Nix was 28 of 33 for 307 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Fam, let me repeat that. Bo Nix was 28 of 33 for 307 yards and 4 tutties against no picks. Now we're going into our bye. That's the good thing because I don't want to see Falcons football next week. I'm tapped out. These last 2 weeks, I'm tapped out. I need a break. Now you would think a coach worth his salt would go look at this defense and be like, I have to make a change. But nah, we on the buddy system. Raheem gonna let this ride out for the entire season. Raheem Morris, to me, is a 2-year head coach. They're going to give him another year, and then he's out of here. And then the Michael Penix era starts. And even in the wins, fam, our defense was trash. Shout out to Sean Payton. Clean sweep of the NFC South. Shout out to Denver. They smoking on the Falcons pack. But this shows me what this team is. If this team wins the NFC South, we're one and done in the playoffs. This team has no heart, none. The defense don't even have confidence in this defensive scheme. They don't. They're not even playing with any passion. That's because your DC is trash. Family's trash. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Okay, I'm back. You're able to fuck up like this. You're able to fuck up like this. And the excuse is he's a first-time coordinator. Zach Robinson, the team is just awful. This shows me this team ain't got no heart. So how do you expect a team with no heart to take anybody else's? This is a much needed buy. Because guys got to start searching at this point. Jimmy Lake should not come back as our DC after the bye. He shouldn't. He shouldn't. You can make an argument for Zach Robinson. Shit, we've had games where we scored over 30. There's no excuse for him. None. This defense has been hot garbage since week 1. And then I'm like, where's Tyler Algier, fam? Y'all remember a couple of weeks where I said sometimes Zach Robinson gets Bijan happy. Where's Tyler? He was in the game today. Tyler didn't have one fucking carry. This guy got to be gone. Man, he got to be gone after the bye, bro. You need to find some energy somewhere. Your defense is giving up. The first touchdown, the zone is killing us. First off, the first touchdown, you had 2 guys on 1 defender on the left, and that left the right wide open. And I'm like, who the fuck was covering him? We've seen this week in and week out, fam. They don't know where they're supposed to be. And I'm at a point, man, to where it's like you've wasted a lot of guys here, mainly Kyle Pitts. Look at these bruh. This offense is absolutely abysmal. The only person that had over 60 yards, scratch that, over 50 was Drake with 61. Ray 46, Bijan 28 receiving, Darnell Mooney 27, who went down by the way. Cordell Hodge had 2 for 22. Kyle Pitts had 1 fucking catch for 9 yards. Bruh, just stop playing him. Stop playing him. Stop playing him. I'm at a point. Tyler Algier Bijan had 12 carries for 35. Jace came in 8 for 15. Kirk Cousins had 1 more carry than Tyler Algier. What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm bruh. It got so bad, people were turning off this game and watching the Hawks. People are tuning out now. But come 2 weeks from now, they're gonna march Jimmy Lake's motherfucking ass right back out there, and we're gonna have that four-man line in a zone behind it. He ain't gonna learn shit. And I can say this because he hasn't learned shit. But his offense was cheeks too. This is just sad to see, fam. And you got your ass stomped today. I mean stomped. And you fucking deserve it because you have no heart. You have no heart. They should have put up more, honestly. You have no heart. But what do I know? I'm just a guy on YouTube. I'm telling you, if you want to save the season, Jimmy Lake he got to be demoted. He's got to be that. There's no question. He has to be demoted. You don't have to fire him. Just demote him and then fire him in the offseason. But I'm looking at Raheem like, bruh, you are starting to be what they say you are. Oh, hold on. Speaking of Raheem.
No, they won. You know, the whole game was about physicality and effort, and they out-physicaled us. They out-efforted us. They absolutely won the game. We talked about that early in the game and what it takes, and it was being your very best when your best is required. We were not that today. You can't really say what point of the day you're concerned because you can always turn those things around. You know, but we did not. You know, obviously, when you take
Look at the
guys
comments,
out, take your starters
look
out
at
as
the
much
comments,
as you can.
man. Everybody's saying fire Jimmy Lake.
Turned that tide and got the physical battle and the effort day. But until that point, you still got a chance to keep fighting and got to go about your process.
On the first drive, you all down to one twice, but penalties affected the drive there. How do you try to eradicate those?
Don't do them. You can't hold, and you can't do the things that you're not supposed to do in the football game. We know those things. Those things continue to happen. The kill drives, you can't let them happen. You can't do them. The right
What's
call.
up to everybody
right
in the
about
chat,
what the
by the way?
officials did. We can't do those things. Michael Penix got us out the game, in the game that one got away from us, and did a nice job of doing that. There's nothing to talk about on what Michael Penix did. He wasn't being graded on that. That was something he got him in there. He was able to get us out of the game a little bit healthier, get Kurt a chance to get healthier, and give us a chance to come back off the bye ready to go. Left side, that's all I kind of got from him. Kind of came in, already having some issues, and took him out, took Mooney out. Took Drake out. Got a chance to get Bijan out of there, Tyler out of there, a couple guys up front as well. As many guys as you can take out in that type of situation, you get out. Try to keep your team as healthy as possible, and you have to get some guys out there and play. Obviously some guys got hurt within the game and kind of changed up some of the framework, some of the things that you want to do. Would have got a chance to see a little bit more Casey Washington, but he took a significant injury, so we were able to get him out of there.
Jaylen, I'm gonna put the StreamYard
the structure of the game and
the StreamYard link in here. You're gonna get your ass on here today.
Bijan came in today with a pretty hot streak of 100 yards. Thunder seemed to bottle him up. Did they do anything different on defense? What you prepared for, what you saw in film?
They were awesome. Out physical, out effort. Great job by their coaches. Hats off to Vance. Hats off to that staff. Hats off to that team. Hats off to those players. They did a great job versus a great player, and they stopped us today.
You never want to use injuries as an excuse, but then did that change how you have to approach this game?
Doesn't matter how I answer that. Right? You got to go out there and play. None of that matters.
You guys didn't list on today almost one of your least listening games of the year. Why was that?
Wasn't that day? We got our butts kicked. It wasn't that kind of game. You got to go back and look at it and see why you can do some different things, and just then the ball didn't bounce that way today.
Do you feel differently about this team than you did?
And be honest, Mark, it was no, absolutely not. Honestly, it was a couple screens in there too, as well. A bunch of screens early.
Nah, you got to
That
get
really
your
got those
ass
guys
on the
going.
stream today.
You know, it's not the recipe to blitz screen, so that could have something to do with it. So I got to go back and look at all the tape, but that's just a quick answer. I'm sorry. And then, no, I do not. You know, I feel like we need to go back and reflect on the bye, get healthy, and come back out ready to play. No one game will ever define you. You know, and this one game won't define us. You know, I know this team is going to bounce back. This is obviously a tough day for those guys. It's a tough day for the organization. It's a tough day for the coaches. But this organization is built on tough people. And our leader in general is sitting right there, and he's ready to deal, and so we be.
Yeah, Coach, how much you attribute the 199 yards after the catch to?
Obviously, bad tackling, right? When you miss tackles, they get yards. And we got to go out there and tackle better. Okay, have a good one, guys.
Yeah. So if you look at the comments in this chat, a lot of them are saying the same thing. Fire Jimmy Lake. He hasn't pitched a good game yet. You might say he's had good halves, but now we're starting to question who's doing the fucking adjustments. We've been talking about that a couple of weeks now. Who's doing the adjustments at halftime? Listen, man, demote him. If you don't want to call the defense, let Gray do it. Let Gray do it. This guy cannot be calling your plays after the bye. He can't. And I'm saying this because even with this, you're still sitting at the top of the NFC South. This guy gonna fuck around and get you fired, man. The buddy system only works when the guy that you bring with you is actually good. Jeffrey says, with all these Falcons coaches, the press conferences all sound the same to me now. They never seem to be pissed about losing. Nah? Dre says, it hasn't been one game though. We played like 4 teams ranked below 20 in the league and struggled a little in all of them, coach. Yeah. But earlier this week, we talked about messaging and him saying that all these games are going to be tough. You've already put that in the mind of your players. You look at Dan Campbell, Detroit's obliterating teams now. But he had the mentality with his press conference. He had the mentality then. So to me, everything, it's on Raheem now. If Jimmy Lake comes back, when we play we got Carolina next. If he's calling the defense against Carolina, everything's on Raheem. Because it's clear what you have to do. It's clear. It can't get no clearer. But we're going to see how far you take this buddy system. We're going to see how far you take it. Because this dude going to get your ass on the hot seat next year. Because I already know Jimmy Lake ain't going to be here next year. I already know that. Terry's probably already had conversations with this guy. Oh, we played the Chargers now. Great. He definitely can't be calling plays. This is your main issue right here. Some people say, hey, listen, you can't talk about the defense without talking about the offense. Offense played like trash today. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. However, in Zach Robinson's case, you can at least say, you know what? There have been some upgrades there. Because we started off getting in his ass at the beginning of the season. Then he stepped up. Terrible game today. But there's somebody. So here's what I want to do. I'm putting the. I want somebody to explain. Somebody be Jimmy Lake's defense attorney. Give me one reason, why Jimmy should have his job going into next year. Somebody got to know something. There is no reason. This man shouldn't be calling after this week. But to have Bo Nix have the game, Bo fucking Nix, bro. Bo Nix out here on the Montana. Bo Nix today was gone off the Montana. Eldrick says down goes KC. KC finally lost to who? The Bills? About time. Let me bring in Wolf, fam. Oh, well, Wolf got in, got out. It was only a matter of time before Kansas City. They've been testing fate for like the last 5 or 6 weeks now. So some are going to be like, hey, listen, it's the players. Calais Campbell isn't here. Bud Dupree isn't here. Okay. That ain't no excuse to me. I can watch the defense. Dude, they're passing off receivers and nobody's picking up shit. So you mean to tell me Nate Landman played like a stud last year? Like a stud. Coming off an injury, I get that, but I'm not buying that. And our arch rivals sitting over there in New Orleans prove my fucking point. Their defense was horrible. Got rid of the guy that was calling the defense. Re-energized 2-game winning streak. Who did they get on their defense that became a game changer overnight? All right, let me get that one Falcons fan in here. What's going on, fam? How you feeling?
What's up, man? I'm aggravated. Like, I'm upset.
All right,
I'm
what
livid.
you got for me?
Right now, if we need to fire Jimmy Lake at this point. He's not the right defensive coordinator. Allowing 38 points is unacceptable. And the offense as well deserves some blame too, because how do you only score 6 points? How do you not score a single touchdown? It's like on all sides of the ball, we were just unprepared. We did not play like we wanted to win. Sean Payton, I guess he's still the godfather who just knows how to beat us all the time. It's unacceptable. We let Bo Nix, a rookie quarterback, have 4 passing touchdowns. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. This is unacceptable. But
And
thank God.
And not to mention, there's another touchdown at the end of the second quarter.
Yep.
That's 3 games. That's 3 games this year. 3 games.
3 games. Like, I don't know what the Falcons should do at this point. We cannot make the playoffs like this. With 10 sacks, like, what's that, 10 sacks we have now?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. 10 sacks through 11 games, that's not going to get you into the playoffs.
Yeah,
with
man.
the offense, man, Kirk Cousins, he has to do better with the ball.
Yeah.
But it's disappointing. I'm disappointed in the Falcons and their performance today. Again, thank God we're on their bye, so they don't have to mess up my next Sunday.
Yeah, everybody's gonna sleep peaceful next Sunday.
Absolutely.
That's a fact. Well, I appreciate you hopping on here, fam.
No problem.
All right. So let me get RJC in here. What's going on, RJC?
Hey, what's happening, man? I'm glad you got the StreamYard back going, man.
Yeah, what's going on? What you got for me?
Man, listen, man. I think like most Falcons fans, man, I am hella disappointed, man. Listen, Jimmy Lake, you spoke it, man. He got to go, but I'm gonna go a different route, man. I think Terry's gonna have to take some blame for this too, man.
Mhm.
He had a chance to go out there and get some pass rushers, man, and he did not. He did not. We needed pet. You even called it yourself. You said, man, Terry got to get in that kitchen. He gonna have to cook something
Yeah.
because we needed some pass rushers bad, man. Like, I'm like you, I really don't care too much about picks because we've been losing for what's going on now, 7 years. But Terry's gonna have to get under the blade a little bit for this too, man, because he definitely should have went and got pass rush. We need pass rush bad, man. Like the other guy was saying, 8 sacks. Come on, man. You should be able to look. I mean, most teams have players that have more sacks than our entire team.
Yeah.
But my next point though is I'm with you with Raheem Morris, man. I'm getting Dan Quinn vibes a little bit. I know
Mhm.
fans probably don't like to hear it, but I'm getting some Dan Quinn vibes a little bit. I feel like he feels obligated because he brought this guy in. But I'm like you, if he's not getting the job done, man, you got to put somebody in there that can get the job done. This is ridiculous, man. And I'm here to tell you, if we don't straighten up, man, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose to Carolina. I'm not gonna be surprised if we lose to the freaking Raiders.
Yeah.
If the Falcons keep playing like this.
Yeah, Jimmy's issue, and what I'm seeing is week in and week out. Guy like Bo
Mhm.
Nix, you know he can't throw. You know he panics. You know his first read, if it's not there, he's going to take off running. There was on their first third down, this man had four on the line. He had three hovering. One was I forget who was acting like he was about to come in and blitz.
I
They
believe that was
sent four.
Landman,
They sent four and dropped back in coverage. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. A
right?
defense, a defensive coordinator worth his salt would have sent the house at him.
I
Get him
made a
off the goddamn field.
yes. I made a post in the old Atlanta Bird Game group. I said Jimmy Lake has to be allergic to the blitz. He has to
Yeah.
be. Because when the Falcons did bring pressure, if you notice, it was incomplete pass. It was a knockdown. When the defense was able to really get after it, you saw how it affected Bo Nix. And I'm just like, keep going, keep going. And he had just stopped. He'll rush forward, no pressure. Bo Nix drops back, 43-yard pass, 33-yard pass downfield. You can't win like this, man. And I'm sorry to say, man, if I just got to put this out there again, man. If Terry doesn't get his act together, I think if we don't make the playoffs this year, do you think Terry Fontenot seat is getting a little hot? And I'm gonna just leave it at that.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you hopping on here, fam. Um, I think when it comes to Terry, um, you do. I give Terry one more year too, to be honest. Um, he's put a team on the field that should be winning games, and for the most part, we're still a game above 500. Um, but Terry's not out here calling the defense. Terry's not out here calling the offense. Terry brought a guy in who everybody believed in, because remember, Bill Belichick was sitting right there. There were a lot of people in the building that didn't want Belichick there because they knew if Belichick came, their jobs were basically useless. So there was a campaign for Raheem. Oh yeah, he blew us away with his interviews and da 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 da. So usually when a head coach comes in, he's gonna bring his guys. Now with Raheem, he brought in two first timers. So we didn't know what the hell this team was gonna look like. Now, after we've gotten a wholesome sampling size of both of these guys, we know one guy has to go. And the thing is, does Raheem Morris, and if I'm Terry, I'm gonna be honest, I'm having a conversation with Raheem, and I'm probably forcing the fucking issue. Hold on. Let me that's Okay, that's Simmons. They got Simmons at the press conference. But I'm gonna bring in two guys. I'm gonna bring in C Double, and I'm gonna bring in AFF. What's happening, family? What's going on with you guys, man? What's going on?
What's going on, Amari? What's good? What you got good?
I would say I'm doing good, but I had to watch Daddy Peyton have to, discipline his children for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about this mess. I
My thing
thought
is,
I
where
thought
do you
seeing Mike.
start?
I gotta say, I thought I saw Mike Tyson's ass, and I was like, okay, that's the worst thing I'm gonna see. I was wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
So let
Man.
me ask you guys. Let me start with you, C Double. I'm gonna
Yeah.
put you in the seat of Raheem Morris. You're going into your bye after having your ass just destroyed by a Denver team. What do you think? Well, let me ask you this: what's your messaging for this team going into the bye?
Men, I want y'all to know that yes, we got our ass clapped and we got beat down. But look, that's how we like it, and we are going to focus and we are going to do the same thing we've been doing because we are insane, and that's how we win. That's what he's going to say. He's going to, be positive, raw, smile, ha ha, kiki, make everyone feel good. What C Double would say, we ain't crap. We are gotten lucky.
Yeah.
We've got to fix this. I can't believe y'all messed up and showed up to the Saints game looking like you had this game won, when clearly you did nothing to hype yourself up or bring up that energy. You literally were flat.
Yeah.
And then I would look at him and go, Sean Payton hates us more than oxygen.
Yeah.
This man hates us. So we got to show up. And the sad part is, he did nothing to actually beat us. It was, if anything, it was kind of like he just was more simple, and, didn't overcomplicate it for Bo Nix, which you think about, what have we been saying?
Yeah.
Okay, the 3-4 is not working. You've got these guys. Adjust. Go 4-3. Let's get them in positions they can, excel in. Nah, we got to, because it's the Falcons, we got to do it our way. And I'm very angry. And it's like this. When we were winning those games, I'm watching them going, we're winning, but we can't keep this up. This is fool's gold. And people were telling me, no, C Double, it's not fool's gold. He's going to develop the defense as we go. Guys, it's week 11.
Yeah.
We are who we are. And if the head leaders don't fix this, if Raheem doesn't turn into Dan Quinn totally and go, hey, Jimmy, you're my buddy, shut your mouth. You're still the defensive coordinator, but I'm calling plays. Just move your mouth when the camera's on you. I don't care. We're going to make it whatever we have to make it look like, but I need to do this. This is his second chance. And if he fails this go round, he ain't getting another. That's the baffling thing. How cocky and arrogant he could be. And no one's brought this up because I've brought it up a couple of times. He's coming off like Arthur Smith. Don't want to change nothing when it comes to that defense. Just like Arthur didn't want to change nothing to the offense.
Yeah. So AFF, what's going on, fam? What you got for me? What would be your messaging to this team going into the bye week?
One major thing. What's going on, Mark? Hey, well,
What's
look,
happening?
one major thing that needs to happen right now that hasn't happened all season long. And it's unbecoming of Raheem Morris, but he needs to become unglued. I mean, he needs to come out of character, and he needs to get into these players behind. And I mean, everybody wants to point the finger at Terry Fontenot. Guys, we have a team. We have a squad. That's why teams are looking to trade with us. They want players from our team. We have that team. But it's up to these coaches to put these guys in position to succeed. And I remember distinctly one series where Brandon Dorley was in the backfield like 3 straight possessions, and Jimmy Lake pulls him. I mean,
Yeah.
you do not pull a guy who's making Bo Nix come up out of off his feet.
Mhm.
They could not stop Brandon Dorless. I don't know what Jimmy thought he was seeing, or Brandon was tired, or what. But that man did not want to come out the game. If he didn't raise his hand and say, "Hey, come get me," you leave that man in there. Jimmy made quite a few defensive calls that just did not sit well. When you have a quarterback that's able to sit there and pick your defense apart, I mean, he could have went anywhere with the ball. And then on top of that, 109 yards after the catch for them. That is absurd, guys. That is crazy.
The way
I don't know what it is, but these last few games, even the games that we won, we've always had this one receiver that's playing against 4 Pro Bowlers that we cannot get a coverage. I mean, at some point, you got to say, okay, look, we got to bring a safety over to help over the top. But to just sit there and just have 2 Pro Bowl receivers, safeties, back there doing willy-nilly whatever they're doing, and you still allow a man to get almost 200 yards receiving?
Yeah. Well, they're passing off everything on defense, man.
Exactly.
There's no bumping on the line. They're passing off everything. So you got, on any given play, you got 2 wide receivers wide open. You got guys confused in the back, which shouldn't happen. You know, Simmons has been out of position a couple of times, and I'm like, this defense does not work. It just doesn't. You do not have the front 4 that can get after the quarterback. We're in week fucking 11. You know this. You have to change something, and it's every week. He comes out with the same exact shit and thinks that there's going to be a different result.
Right.
And for that reason alone, Jimmy Lake should be demoted. I'm not saying you got to fire him, but you definitely have to demote him. You know, you got guys that can call this defense. And, you know, the thing is, with Raheem talking about, you know, at the beginning of the season, he was going to be hands off. How? You got 2 first-time coordinators. How are you going to be hands off on anything?
I mean, Marcus, I've been wanting to ask you, all right, because I've been wanting you on my show, but I can't ever get a hold of you. So here's what I'm going to ask you. Wouldn't you have tried to get some experienced guys on your team? I mean, or on your coaching staff, you know, like a Steve Wilkes as defense coordinator. And hell, Byron Leftwich as offense coordinator. If not Byron, heck, go get you. His name. It's the guy that coached the Colts at that time, Jim Cardwell.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking guys like that. Kick me some guys that can, with some gravitas, that have some. And if that's what you're wanting, and then you can put your guys in as learning under them. And then if you explode, we'll hire them. Now you can put those guys where you want, and then you could go with that.
Yeah, it's the buddy system. That's what I'm talking about. It's the buddy system.
I'm gonna show you too. Now there's a buddy system going on over there with Sean Payton too. But you saw when it seemed like the Falcons had some type of life in them, where Sean Payton went over to his defensive coordinator and he was actually dictating to him. You saw him on the sideline saying, "Hey, this need to go do this." And I mean, Sean Payton was involved. You know, every time that camera goes over to Raheem Morris, he kind of have this thing like we got it in the bag, kind of like look on his face.
Yeah,
God, I hate that look.
You know what I mean, it's all well and good if your game plan is working.
Yeah,
but it is not working. Even in games that we win, it is not working. We're winning because other teams are making vital mistakes. We're not going in taking no games. Even the Dallas game.
God, you are so right.
One too many mistakes. The Philadelphia game, which we well could have won decisively before the half, they made too many mistakes. We capitalized on it. The game against Seattle. Come on. I mean, the game against Tampa Bay, they made quite a few mistakes that we capitalized on. We need to start going in and owning and taking games from the jump. I mean, you can't do it every game. I know that. But at some point, you got to say, hey, this is our year. We're coming to get this game. Especially game you should win, like this one. Like this one here, I mean, we lost on both sides of the ball. So there's not really the defense didn't give it up. The offense did give it up. Both sides of the ball, as well as the coaching, everything across the board just wasn't there for us today. Was not there at all. The energy wasn't there. The players weren't. They seemed like they were just out of sorts. Like they were just there. And I'm gonna keep saying this. And this is my last time even talking about Kyle Pitts. I am done with Kyle Pitts.
Hey, man.
I'm done. I defended him. I even was brought on board as to supporting him as to what he could do for our offense. But after the day and what I saw, I'm done with him. I don't like pigeon-toed athletes anyway. But
AFN, they were benching him for dwelling. They were benching him for dwelling at times.
Yeah, that is bad. That is bad.
Oh,
Yeah, it's getting to a point, man, where to me, Raheem's got 2 years. It's almost like him and Kirk Cousins' tenure are going to end at the same time.
Yeah,
I agree.
Raheem isn't going to get fired after this season.
No,
But next season, it's Super Bowl or bust next year. And like you guys have said earlier, if he doesn't accomplish that, this is probably his last shot. But I think right now his biggest mistake, as of right now, is who he's picked as his coordinators. Because both of them let him down this today. Both of them. This is a game. If you win one of these games between the Saints or the Broncos, you're putting a stranglehold on the South.
Hold on.
Now you mess around,
Marcus.
and lose 2 weeks from now, and Tampa Bay wins. All of a sudden, this is a different ball game.
And I'm thinking that's probably what they're counting on.
And by the way, New Orleans did not lose. They look. It's almost like this. We gave them second life. If you would have beaten New Orleans, and you get your butt kicked against the Broncos, we all would be like, okay, guess what? It happens. We'll just, we'll recoup. No, you screwed up. And then Tampa's schedule is easy compared to what we've got to go through. Yep. Chargers, top 5 defense. The Vikings, you see what they could do, especially against a team that's not straight.
Yep.
Let me ask you: Can we stop Addison and Jefferson?
This is why I'm saying there's no logic in having Jimmy Gray be your DC after the bye. You can't do it. That's insanity to me.
Yep.
If this man is calling the defense,
right. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm simply looking at these last 6 games right after the bye,
and
at the beginning of the season, looking at these last games after after that Tampa Bay game, or the first Tampa Bay game, it looked like our schedule got easy after about 4 or 5 games or 6 games. But now the way we were playing and how we're looking now, the last 6 games is actually suspect. I mean, we got the Chargers, who are not playing very good ball, but at the same time, they are a solid 500 team. And then you look at the Vikings, who are playing good ball. I mean, then you got the Giants, who supposedly we can run through them. But then you got the Raiders, who you can go ahead and put a W right there, but not so fast because they got tight ends that are playing off the board right now. And then you got the Commanders. I mean, Jaden Daniels, dude is playing hurt now with some banged up ribs, patched up ribs, and he's killing them.
Anthony says, hold on. Anthony says, when's the last time our defense been top 10? They were top 10 last year, up until the last 2 or 3 games where they tapped out. They were top 10.
The power stash.
We had a good defense the last 2 or 3 years. It's the fact that our offense, we had trash quarterbacks. So to see what our defense was last year to this year, you can't have that. You can't have that. So C-Double, tell because I gotta get Larry and I gotta get Ron in next. So C-Double, tell everybody where to find you, fam.
All right, C-Double28 is my YouTube channel, and then you can find me. Just type C-Double on Facebook, and you can find me there. And then also C-Double AWTN on X. And like I said, Marcus, you are always invited over to the Beard Gang. You don't even have to have a beard. We'll make one for you. And you can even you can stay in the darkness. We'd let you, because we would love to have you on, because we all love your content. So we all talk about it. I quote a lot of your stuff. So I want to thank you so much for giving us this outlet to chat with you and stuff.
When are you going to be on this week, fam?
This Tuesday, we're going to do 5 o'clock. I put it at 5:30, but it's going to be 5. And then I'm also going to be tomorrow, Wednesday night. I'll be doing a wrestling show, and then Monday in the morning, me, Terry, and Ron and Ladarius are going to do the morning crew show.
Okay.
So,
well, just reach out to my email. I think Tuesday I might be in the midst of something. I gotta go holler at a chick about a horse. So.
All right, no problem. I mean, hey, as long as you know the name, right?
Yes, sir. Just hit me in the email. AFF.
Yeah.
Let everybody know where they can find you, fam.
Hey man, where are you going after that chick or that horse? You be careful. I tell you that. But man, you got some fine guys coming in after us, man. I tell you. But y'all can look for me on YouTube at all platforms. Now the Falcons Pandemic, just type it in. I'm gonna pop up. And everybody pushed me to start this podcast thing, man. But I can't get a schedule right now. So, but y'all can still find me. I'm still doing content. Just haven't started the official podcast just yet. But guys, let's not lose hope. I mean, there's still hope for those playoffs for us to, do something. However ugly it may be, we still got a chance in there. Maybe something to pop off. But right now, I'm gonna finish off this Woodford Reserve, and I'm gonna call it the night, man. I'm not watching no more football after today. But I appreciate y'all having me on, man. To time up with you guys and get you guys thoughts too. And y'all look for my content on YouTube, Atlanta Falcon Pandemic.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Appreciate you being on, fam.
Appreciate it.
All righty. So we got Black Cat. What's going on, Black Cat, man? Black Cat in here with the eyes, man. What the hell happened to you? What the hell happened? I know what you on. I know what you on, Black Cat. We got stomped out. Let me bring in Larry from the Dixon Way, and I'm gonna bring in Ron. What's happening, fellas? What's going on with you guys?
What's up?
What's going on, man? What's going on? Like always, guys, appreciate you having me on, Mark. Everybody in the chat, man, make sure you hit the like button, man. It's the lifeblood of all our strength, man. If you're enjoying this content, hit the damn like button. Don't be that guy, man. It's like tipping your waiter, man. But this is free. It don't cost nothing. So just hit the like button, man. For real. Oh man, we've been somebody packed 2 games in a row, bro.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, man. But I mean, hey, we've been smoking on a pack most of the year, so. But this was a different type of pack right here. They put some good. They gutted us, put some good in there, and they smoking strong today. So Larry, let me ask you this, and I'm gonna ask Ron this.
Right.
Where do you think this team is going wrong as a whole?
As a whole?
As a whole.
Okay. I'm gonna give you guys basically, guys, there's a book out on the Falcons now. We're over the halfway mark. There's a book out on the Falcons. Let me repeat that. There's a book out on the Falcons, offensively, defensively, and special teams. That was a master class at coaching by Sean Payton and his coordinators. A master class.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not just Jimmy Lake. It's Zach Robinson. It's special teams coach. Don't even know his name. It's Raheem. We got dominated on all 3 phases. If you want to say coaching, 4 phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams in back-to-back games. We almost pulled out the win and stole a game last week. This week, we got totally dominated. This game felt like the Steeler game. But see, in the Steeler game, we scored all those field goals, and it was close, but it felt like we got dominated. You feel me? Like it just felt like we got dominated. Even though we were scoring field goals, it felt like we got dominated. This game, the book is out. Everything we did, it looked like they were 2 steps ahead of us. Kirk Cousins still staring down receivers. Drake. Everybody in the league knows he want to go to Drake in crucial situations. When he threw that interception, that linebacker was covering him so well. He didn't see Drake, because I couldn't see Drake when he threw that ball. I know he didn't see Drake. He just threw it hoping that since it's a linebacker, that he'll miss the ball. He threw it right at the linebacker. There's no way he could have been looking at that and didn't see that linebacker. When the linebacker was literally right next to him, it wasn't like he was trailing underneath, but he, snuck up in there, out of sight, out of mind. Nah, he was running step for step with Drake. And they know the play. They know that they want to get Drake in the slot. I think the entire league know that. And that's when we go back into what we're talking about coaching. Offensively, man, it's just as bad defensively. There is a book out on the Falcons. And you know how most of the time, okay, coaches know, all right, we got these many tendencies. We need to have plays that can, attack defenses just in case they catch on to our tendencies.
What?
We don't learn from wins. We keep doing the exact same thing. Now we're not learning from losses. And I saw a Saints fan come in my chat. He was like, did we show everyone how to beat the Falcons? No, not necessarily. I think the Falcons have been putting this film out for the last 9-10 weeks. And now everybody got that book. You know what I'm saying? And we can't get pressure either. Like, Bo Nix was chilling back there. It was like 7-on-7.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm gonna have to look into when I hop off of here is where in the hell is Tyler Algier? In the last
he was hurt. He was hurt.
Oh, he's hurt. Okay, because in the last 3 games, he's had 17 touches behind Kirk Cousins. 17 carries. Bijan had 12 today. He didn't even have a carry.
We abandoned the run. We didn't even try to establish a run, Mark. We literally went in there. We tried to pass it on first down. We didn't get nothing. It's 2nd and 10. All right, let's run it with Bijan. All right, maybe he'll gain 5 yards. Maybe he'll gain 7. Or maybe he won't gain anything because that defensive front was whooping us on the line. So it was just like we abandoned the run. We got down and we just abandoned it. 12 carries for Bijan is disgusting. That's disgusting.
It's things that I'm seeing, and Ron, I want your input on this one. When Tyler Algier, y'all are saying he's hurt. When he was getting carries, he was bulldozing through the line, right? Bijan, as good as Bijan is more of a cut, just a fancy, like a LaDainian Tomlinson type guy.
Yeah.
He's not hitting the line in the face. And the last 2 games, what we've seen, honestly, and I mean, Bijan has had good games. Don't get me wrong, he's had good games, but again, like Larry's saying, there's a book out, especially on the defensive side. There's a book out on this team now. If you want to stop us offensively, shut Bijan down. Shut the run down. If you can shut the run down, then you have a chance. I'm looking at, but I'm looking at guys playing with injuries. Drake's playing through one. We got to see what's going on with Mooney. Tyler Algier has one. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Kyle Pitts. But
in your heart,
Kyle Pitts, in my opinion, Kyle Pitts act like he don't want to play.
Yeah,
Ryan, you ain't told a lie, Ryan.
Hold on for a second. Jay Lana, listen, if you want to talk, I put the stream in there a couple times, fam. Hop your ass on here.
To
me, go ahead, Ron.
Kyle Pitts act like his mind somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Act like he worried about his old lady or something else going on. He's not focused on the game that day. Now, I don't know what it is, but he has not been there mentally.
Yeah. It's, Kyle Pitt. Now we can get into bus conversation. What? We picked him at 4. I've been a staunch supporter of Kyle Pitts. And I still, Zach has had some good games offensively as far as play calling. But there have been some other games where I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like what are you doing
Right.
here? But these are the growing pains of what this is what happens when you get two first timers and they're
Right.
learning on the job. This is what
3
happens.
first timers, special
But
teams
yeah,
too.
yeah. What's going on? What's going on? My high club
What's
says
going on,
Broncos
Bronco
country,
fans?
man.
I
Yeah,
see y'all.
Once
yeah. Y'all
again,
get the smoke on the pack. Ain't no hate here.
Here you go.
once again, you got the want to play, Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching your live for a long time, dog. I've been studying under you for a long time. And you always say you got the want to play.
Yeah.
If you don't want to play, then why the F are you on the field?
Yeah.
And
That's
I
what
studied from Larry too. So
yeah. That's what we're seeing, in last week when I was like, listen, we got beat by the Saints. I want to see where your heart is. All week I called out this team's heart. And we saw where it was. We saw where it was. That they had the worst loss of the season.
It was already in the bye week, man. We was already in the bye week.
But
and to throw Michael Penix out there, I'm just glad he didn't get hurt. Because if he would have got hurt, I would have said fire everybody on the spot. On the spot. So
It
glad
seemed
he
like-
got that off. A couple of good passes, but this ain't college, bro.
Right.
It's the NFL. If you wear a loss like this, you got to wear that loss. Y'all don't get no break. That's your punishment. Get back out there.
Right.
Oh, real spit.
You got
Real
your
talk,
ass.
man. That's no, dog. Y'all played bad all game. Are you kidding me? Like, I just firmly believe that the lack of defense of drafting is still coming back to haunt us. Grady's washed. Aminata is beyond washed. Judon's washed. The whole front line is washed. I mean, Judon got a sack because the offensive line sacked, stepped on what's the name foot, and then he just touched him. So yeah, it really was a sack on the offensive lineman. We can't get pressure with 4. We can't get pressure with 5. We get a little pressure with 6, but then we lose containment, and he scrambled and a wide open man. And all of those routes that they're running, if we had pass rush, they would never be able to complete them. But since we don't, it is what it is. We need pass rush in the worst way, but we also need a right tackle in the worst way. Because I'm telling you, and I said this at the end of my stream, and I would tell you guys too. If the Falcons lose against the Chargers and at the Vikings, expect Michael Penix to start with the Raiders. You heard it from me first.
I don't know about that, man. I think I
4-game losing streak.
Yeah, I think they're gonna ride it out with Kirk Cousins the entire year, no matter what happens. Now next year it might be a different story.
I don't know.
Tell me this is
Mark.
why.
Look at it.
Go ahead.
But look at it, Mark. Look at it. All right. You lose to the Saints. You lose to the Broncos. You lose to the Chargers. You lose to the Vikings. At that time, if you do that, you will be 6-7 on the season. Don't know what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would do, but I think their record is easier than ours.
Yeah.
Your next 2 games are the Raiders and the Giants. If ever you were going to start Michael Penix, it would be against the Raiders with a long week because you play on Monday night, and then against the Giants. If you were ever going to start Michael Penix, that would be where you're going to do it. Now, I hear you. They might ride it out. That'll be Terry's job, though.
Here's
that's all I'm saying.
I got you. Here's my counter argument. With that.
Go ahead,
If
brother.
they were to drop those games, and you have the Raiders and you have the Giants, that would be more reason to keep Kirk Cousins in, because those should be semi-easy games. My issue isn't necessarily, I guess, offensively, even though they play like absolute ass today.
Right.
It's just the fact that when your defense is giving up so much, it puts so much pressure on this offense to perform. Now, all our losses, we've scored under 20 points. And I'm a fan of trends. Every single loss, we've scored under 20, right? If we manage to get over 27 or 28 points, we win.
Right.
But when you look at what this offense is doing, look at our first drive. Our first drive, Bijan goes out of bounds on the 3-yard line. It's a damn holding call. Puts us back. I think we're 2nd and 15. Then Drake London has a penalty right behind it. And it's like, Jesus Christ, like we can't get out of on the offensive side, they're just not disciplined.
Right.
On the defensive side, it's just it's an absolute dumpster fire over there. So I feel like if you can get off of Jimmy Lake during the bye, and whether you call the defense Morris or you get great to call the I just feel like we're not in the right scheme to begin with. It's week 11. These guys still look confused out there.
Well, I want to ask you, Marcus, can we trade Jimmy Lake?
Who gonna take him? Even if we could, who's gonna take him?
Cincinnati. I don't care at this point. Trade him, man, for a bag of Doritos.
The smart thing for Atlanta to do. This is really gonna show me where Raheem is. This is really gonna show me where he is as a coach.
Okay.
If Jimmy Lake comes back against the Chargers, you might as well go ahead and wrap this season up because he's choosing friendship over winning. And I never believe in that when it comes to professional sports. If this guy's been trash and you know he's trash, hey, listen, Jimmy, you ain't ready. All right, we're gonna go ahead and sit you down. We ain't gonna fire you. I'm gonna make sure you ain't gonna get fired. But I gotta have somebody that can call the plays. Right? I guarantee you, and this is why I know this is gonna work. When Atlanta has done this the last 2 times, that defense got better instantly. When we did it with Dan Quinn in 2016, we went to the Super Bowl. Then when it happened to Dan Quinn, because remember, Dan Quinn was calling this defense a year after that, defense got worse. When they sat him down and they had Raheem Morris and Ulbrich take over the defense, we played the Saints.
It got better.
We had 6 sacks against Drew Brees and they didn't score a single touchdown.
Right.
Then it happened again. So I'm a fan of trends. Every time we have a piss poor coordinator and we sit his ass down, all of a sudden with the same exact players, the defense gets better. So that shows me it's on the coordinator. Like I said earlier.
I got to counter for that. Mike. Because when you have a book on a team and then when you get a new coordinator and he break those tendencies, as an offense, you don't know what to do.
Yes.
But they did taper off, and then the defense was not as good when Raheem first took over because they saw what he was doing. Right. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that always happened. Like there's a trend of whenever a team get rid of a coach and an interim coach and they change everything, they usually play their best game after the coach is fired because there's no tendencies on you. It's like starting anew. You know what I'm saying? Now, if that person was the defensive or offensive coordinator, then they're gonna stay the same. You know what I'm saying? But most of the time, when somebody be an interim coach, they try to change things up just to get a different energy to the team. So I feel you, but there's reasons behind it. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
My whole point is, I would have. The day we did not trade for nobody for a pass rush, I would have set Jimmy Lake down that day. I would have took Jimmy Lake's job. Be like, look, you over the Gatorade, I don't care. You over the water, I don't care. But this football team, no, player, you done.
Yeah. They definitely have to reflect in the bye. And I mean, the benefit is you get healthy. No matter what happens, you're still going to be, when you come back, you're still going to be number 1 in the NFC South. But if Tampa wins and if the Saints win, they're going to be right on your ass. So that's the reason why having one of these games was paramount. You let them win, they're right back in the mix, where just 2 weeks ago you had this thing in the damn bag. And that's my issue with Raheem. You know, you can't, just because you're winning, and even though when we were winning, I was calling this defense ass. I'm like, this defense pure trash. You know,
Yeah,
so
you are.
we even though we're winning these games, this defense is ass. When we're
Yeah,
not scoring,
it ain't like Johnny lately, and you saying, "Oh, now it's bad."
yeah,
You've been on that train, so yeah,
Right.
shots, yeah. So you seen it. I mean, we all seen it. You come in my
Yeah.
chat, but like, yo, this defense cheeks, Larry.
yes, cheeks,
I'm
man.
like-
It's like
I'm like,
the
I
main
can't say
the
nothing,
main
man. Peaches in the chat.
Right.
the main issue for if you want to go to the playoffs this year, because now that's at jeopardy. Because again, the Saints, I hate their guts, but they on a 2-game winning streak, and you know Tampa is gonna fight every single solitary week. What you just put out here on the field the last 2 weeks, borderline disgraceful, borderline
Yeah,
disgraceful.
I agree. I agree.
And I'm like, you know, the fans. When I heard Raheem Morris talking in the press conference, he mentioned everybody but the fans. You know,
What?
the coaching staff, the players, the organization. Dude, we have to endure this shit. Like, we're not getting paid. You getting a paycheck. Jimmy, like, family. This is why I be on their ass. They getting paid. Jimmy looked like pure shit as a defensive coordinator. He getting a check for being cheeks. And we have to sit here and endure this. So that's why I don't, it's never personal. He's probably a great guy. Probably makes a mean cup of joe. But your boy trash out here in these streets, bro. The boy
I'm gonna have to
trash
get
out here.
that sounder with Brown. It's never personal, always business.
Always, man. It's always, you know, and I get people make an argument. We don't have the players. You know, Mark, when are you going to start blaming the players? And I'm like, dude, I blame the players all the time.
Yeah.
I stopped talking about McGarry. Y'all know how I feel about him.
Yeah.
I
That ain't even a
stopped
question.
talking about
Man,
McGarry.
he was getting whooped. Oh my
Yeah.
God, was he getting whooped, bro?
So I'm always gonna be on the players. It's about logo business. It ain't never personal with these guys. But what they put out on the field the last 2 weeks got on Koo's ass last week. Today he hit 2.
Yeah,
that first one was kind of leaning. It was kind of leaning right. He got it in there, but he made his 2. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if he would have had an opportunity, he might have made a couple more. I don't know. But there needs to be some wholesale changes in the offseason for sure. Sure.
It seems like when we get hit in the mouth, we don't know how to hit back.
Yeah.
Is it me? But
No,
Denver hit us in the mouth and we didn't know how to hit back. We gave up. Like you used to say, Marcus, we gave up the penalty draws.
Yeah, well, we gave up everything. We gave up the draws and the virginity today.
Right.
Yeah, we did.
Everything.
Facts on, for real.
Right.
You know,
so it's like when you gonna start hitting the team in the mouth and be like, now what? What are you gonna do about it? We don't got that attitude.
Ron, here's the thing though. The team got to be angry enough to do that. I thought they were going to be angry after they went to bed against the Saints. And they came out here and played like this. This wasn't even a game they had to have.
So
you know,
like what you doing out here? If you don't want to play, don't get on the field. Here.
But it starts with the top down, man. That's why I constantly have to look at Raheem Morris, because you see what Dan Campbell doing out there in Detroit.
I can't even disagree with you right there, man.
They feel like they can't lose at this point, fam.
Right.
You know, when you watch them play
plays on the field,
dude, it's all dog. That team is all dog on offense and defense. But when you look at the coach, they coach all dog. When we look at Raheem, I mean, I'm just gonna keep it sad. When people are saying that they're starting to see Dan Quinn and Raheem Morris, you know, circa 2017, 2018.
I said that, and I was like, but winning the press conference and not winning the game was a Dan Quinn-ism. You feel me?
Yeah.
We saw when he blew the game going for 4th down. We're watching it. Look, man.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't want to hear no coaches speak. I need to be like, hey, we're gonna dig deep into see what the problem is right now. We got 2 in a row. The Chargers is the biggest game on the season. We cannot end up 6-6
Yeah.
after being 6-3.
What?
We literally was moonwalking. We're like, oh man, we got the division easy, man. We're worried about bigger things. Not
Yeah,
so fast.
That Saints
Not so
game,
fast,
man.
my friend.
That Saints
Wow.
game did something to this team going into this one. You know, you figure you lose a game like that, you should be coming out playing with your hair on fire.
Yeah.
The defense, the first 2 or 3 possessions, dude. Denver scored a touchdown on 3 of their 4 possessions.
Yeah, they
on the first
did.
half. And then
With ease.
these end of second quarter TDs, bruh. It's
Yeah, that's
driving me
killing us,
insane.
man.
It's driving me insane. And when you
Well-
have this happen frequently, again, people say it's the players. I'm like, dude, I can bet you my bottom dollar. You sit this man down and you get Gray or Raheem to call this defense. Defense gonna look different overnight.
But let me
Good
ask,
shot by Trey Young. Let's go.
have he ever put together a defense?
Who's that?
Raheem?
Raheem.
No. He ain't. I mean, he had to when he was an interim here and
Yeah.
interim at well, he was the interim, then became the full head coach in Tampa Bay. So that's when he put it together. Interim here, he really didn't have a choice but just running with the people that was here.
Right.
But in
but
Tampa
what
Bay,
I'm
he
saying-
did. Other than
But
that,
yeah.
no, he has not. No,
Right. So
this was his first time putting together a
Right.
staff.
So you never
Legitimately from
put
scratch.
together a defense. I'm looking at you sideways now. Like everybody talk good about you, but now you playing hide or seek. You know he'll fuck up. You know Jimmy Lake will fuck up. But that your friend, you don't want to tell your friend you a fuck up?
Well,
A
I'm pretty
spade is a spade.
I'm
Let
pretty
you-
sure this is where Terry's going to get involved because again, you know, Terry's got to be feeling some pressure too. You know, he allowed, and I mean allowed Raheem to pick these guys as his coordinator. Now I know, you know,
Yeah, he
coaches come in all the time and they want their guys, right?
What?
But first timers on both sides, first
Yeah,
timers,
that's what's-
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm looking at Raheem like, really, dog? You know your friend out there at coaching defense. When you gonna tell your friend, dog, you got to go? When?
Yeah. Well, that's the.
Hey guys,
that's
I'm about to
the-
give my son something to eat, man. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Well, Larry,
I'm about to get salute to the chat. Okay, son, I'm gonna get you some pizza. I appreciate you having me on. We'll holler at you, Ryan, Mark.
All right,
Everybody, make sure you hit the
y'all
like button. All right, deuces. Peace.
All righty. All right, Ron, tell people where to find you, fam.
Man, you can find me on Talk Your Ears. Come on Tuesday nights around 8 o'clock. You can find me on Pops and the Hemi Brothers Thursday nights around 8 o'clock. And sometimes you can find me on the Eye Test and on the Waffle House with Tiny on
All righty.
Thursday and Friday around 8 o'clock.
All right, fam. It was good having you on here, fam.
You be easy. Keep up the
Alright.
good work, dog.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right, man. So we had some good content creators come on here. And again, man, anybody is welcome to come on here to chop up good game, man. You know, Jay Landa didn't come on, and you know, it is what it is. Some people like to stay in the chat. And shout out to everybody in the chat, by the way. Y'all know how much I love and respect y'all for keeping the chat jumping. But yeah, man, in closing, we'll see what happens during the bye. We will see what happens. We know what needs to happen, though. We know what needs to happen. Will it happen? We'll find out. Me personally, my money is on your boy Raheem keeping Jimmy Lake till the end of the season. That's how strong the buddy system is. We just had a head coach that lost his job behind his stubbornness. We just saw this. We knew over here Dez wasn't the guy early on. And that pretty much got Arthur Smith up out of here. Now he's a DC or OC in Pittsburgh. So strap in, man. This is going to be pretty interesting after the bye. I'm glad this team has got a week to kind of get their mind right. These players they got to dig deep, man. They got to figure out where the hell they are. Because what they're putting out there on the field, that's no heart. That's no heart. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all exactly what Atlanta looked like today, and it's sickening. But I want y'all to see. I want y'all to see what Atlanta looked like. And it's just disgraceful, fam. Hold on, let me do this. And then we gonna clock out. I got shows to watch. But I'm gonna let y'all know, fam, I'm sleeping well today. Tonight I'm gonna sleep real well. I'm not letting the fact that we got our asses destroyed today. I'm gonna let this L go. And then I'm gonna be sitting back eating popcorn, wondering what moves are gonna be made around here in the bye, or if there's going to be any moves made. But this is what we look like. This is what we look like, fam.
The 2 minute rounds wanting to see more action. He just landed the overhand right, testing the beard of Paul early.
And everybody was saying
that's what we look like right there.
Shot by Jake Paul.
Right hand by Paul. That is his most effective.
Bo Nick's in there beating our motherfucking ass.
The punch of the round, but they would see the right hand grazes Mike Tyson by Jake Paul. That would have been a good shot had it been on the chin. So Mike barely escaped that one.
That's two rounds. And it's it's sad when we had this thing in the bag, but this is why you can never count your chickens before they hatch. What would be crazy is if Atlanta don't even win the NFC South. At that point, I don't understand. Jimmy Lake gone for sure. Raheem's probably on his last year. And Terry has to go back to the drawing board on his defensive line. Judon's gotten there. He just hasn't gotten any sacks that mean anything. Grady, we might be seeing the regression. But to me, I've been saying this, I think we're in the wrong scheme. That's just me. That's just me. I think we're in the wrong scheme. We're passing off receivers. The guys are just wide open. That's why we're terrible on third down. But on third down, you don't send the house on a rookie. Everybody. I watch other teams do this consistently. You're going to have to get this ball out because you're not going to get a chance to stand behind there. Oh, nah, he sends 4. I guess he thinks that things might change the next week. You know what? I'm going to run the same defense, and maybe it works this week. 11 weeks it hasn't worked. Hucklebuck says, don't win the NFC South. Raheem should be gone. I think Arthur is going to have a quick trigger. Man, that would be a harsh trigger, man. That would be a heavy finger. That would be a heavy finger right there. Because most coaches these days, bare minimum, are going to get 2 years. bare minimum. Now, if this was year 2, I'd agree with you. Yeah, he gone. But I think they're going to give Raheem another year, but they're going to do things a different way. So depending on how Zach Robinson and how this offense looks for the rest of the season, Zach might be back. But there's no way Jimmy Lake should be a defensive coordinator for this team for the foreseeable future. King says, should have hired Bill. Well, Bill's still out there now. You know what comes with Bill. That would be wild. Let's play a hypothetical here. What would be wild is if we don't win the NFC South, Raheem gets fired, and then they bring in Bill Belichick. I don't think that will ever happen, but that would be some wild shit right there. That would be some shit. Perry says, bruh, I just don't see Raheem having the balls to make the needed changes. He is too busy coddling his coaches. Yeah, fam, I have to agree with you. I don't think he's going to do it. That's what needs to be done, but I don't think he's going to do it. I think Jimmy Lake will be right there on the sideline calling the defense. Jawan says Belichick ain't coming. No, Belichick ain't coming here. Especially, Bill Petty. Belichick ain't coming here. Nah, y'all picked that guy over me. Him? Okay. Okay, bet. But there is some good news. There's some great news today. Fantastic news. Before I get out of here, I want to share with everybody. Your boy is about to be sitting at 9-2 in his fantasy league, heading to the playoffs. That's some good news to me. I already got this week sold up. I already got this week. And this is with Derrick Henry putting up 10 points. I got it sold up. So there is a light at the end of the rainbow for this Sunday. Greg says, I'm just tired of all these feel-good coaches. It's not working in Atlanta. Yeah, man, it's I second that emotion, man. But you know, the season's not lost yet. It's not lost yet. We better beat the Chargers. And as you know, I respect Tampa's fight. I hate the Saints. They're on a 2-game winning streak, though. And one of them games came off us. So again, you know, this is what I mean by messaging. And, you know, we talked about this earlier in the week. Three Dirty says, so many content creators moonwalking. I'm going to have a Michael Jackson only playlist. Yeah, you know, a lot of content creators get it right. A lot of content creators get it wrong. You know, I can only report on what I see, what my eyes see. And what my eyes saw was very early. This defense wasn't it. So, but the offense had a bad game. Shout out to Koo for getting back on track with 2 field goals. Outside of that, so hopefully in 2 weeks, man, we rejuvenated to, you know, make a run. Rodney says, I need to take Jimmy Lake playbook just like the preseason, walk him out the door. Yeah, man. Matter of fact, let me do this. Because I know the fan base is definitely not feeling this guy right now. And it's not just me. It's not just me. Y'all saw that press conference where the comments were like fire Jimmy Lake. I ain't even saying firing him. I'm saying demote him. Did fire him in the offseason. Okay, so we got somebody that says our defense. This was 2 minutes ago. Our defense only finna get worse. Remember Jimmy Lake said he's not changing nothing. Like, what serious team plays at a 7-2 inside the 10? You're inviting swing passes and screens to break big on you. Yep. Somebody says, I do not see the Falcons firing Jimmy Lake or even demoting him this season. I'd imagine that would be a change in the offseason if we see it. I would like to quote an old proverb from a wise man in regards to the Falcons. Listen to me now, believe me later on. You can't neglect one side of the football and then try to put Band-Aids on it to fix it. Today was the largest margin of defeat for the Falcons since 2021 against the Cowboys. That was 43-3. Whew, Lord have mercy. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of comments I'm seeing. Somebody says the Falcons fired Jimmy Lake yet. That was 53 minutes ago. My last thought on the Falcons. I hate Jimmy Lake as much as the next man, but we're dead last in sacks before he was the DC. And the pass rush has been awful for years. God himself couldn't coach this talentless defense to get any pass rush production. It's bigger than Lake. We were dead last in sacks before he was the DC. I mean, we had over 40 sacks last year. On the other hand, Koo was perfect. 2-2, so there's that. Falcons head coach Raheem Morris was asked if there could be defensive changes. He says, quote, "We always look at that. You always go back, you always reflect, and you always study." It's time to take the goddamn test. It's time to take the goddamn test, bro. It's time to start passing this test. See, these are the quotes that fans don't believe in. If you do this, we always look at that. You always go back. You always reflect. And you always study. My God, this guy's been cheeks since week 1. You about to fail in 2 weeks if you keep him there. Just saying. Let me take these last two and I'm up out of here. I knew this team had zero heart when we effed around and let the practice squad New Orleans Aints beat them last week. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Smart Ride says we have to draft better. Mark, we have to draft better. This defense can draft Troy Anderson in the second round and think that's a talented player. Got to draft better. I agree with you 110%, fam. With that being said, your boy's about to get out of here. I'm about to go get me something to eat. I'm about to relax and enjoy the rest of my Sunday, man. Don't let this loss ruin your day, fam. Go out, do something, sip on you something strong, relax. Get this game out your mind, man. We'll see what this team does in the next 2 weeks. With that being said, your boy is up out of here, man. Peace.